Deputy Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like, on my own behalf, but also on behalf of Christie's and my colleagues here with me, Sandy Cobden and Sandhya Jane Patel, to express my deep gratitude to you and to the people of the Kingdom of Cambodia for your generous invitation to attend this landmark ceremony. It is a great honour. And thank you also for the very warm welcome which we have received in your country. I should say to start with that we at Christie's share your great enthusiasm and your passion for the art of your country. So we are therefore absolutely delighted to know that we have helped to ensure that this very important statue of Balarama finds its way back to its birthplace. Questions of repatriation are often very complex, and solutions do not always present themselves easily. We at Christie's have found that with sensitivity and mutual cooperation, and above all else, a shared commitment to art, solutions often can be found, and this is such a case. So, as you will all see, these are beautiful works of art. But that is not their only value. They also have something important to say. They tell a story. It's a story of an amazing culture and also a population who are resilient and have survived over many centuries, contributing their art to the world. Wherever these statues have travelled, and they have travelled, they have told their story. So now this journey back to Cambodia, back to their birthplace, is the latest, but not the last, chapter in that story. Accompanying the statue of Balarama is a letter to the people of Cambodia, written on behalf of the employees of Christie's by our Managing Director in New York, Mark Porter. That letter speaks for all of us when it expresses our pleasure and our honour at being part of this latest chapter in the story of the statues of Ko Ko. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Martin Wilson, for your remarks. Next, it is our pleasure to invite Mr. Walter Timosov, President of the Northern Simon Museum of Art, to deliver remarks, please.
I'll be very brief. I'm extremely pleased and honored to represent the Norton Simon at this ceremony. I want to thank His Excellency Deputy Prime Minister Sok-Am and His Excellency Secretary of State Chan Tanny for their invitation to attend this important event. On behalf of the trustees of the Norton Simon, I'd like to express our strong support for the agreement that resulted in our gift of the Bima to the Kingdom of Cambodia. We are pleased that we were able to say yes to the compelling request by His Excellency Chan Tanny that we help reunite the Bima with the Duryodhana to form the centerpiece of a special permanent exhibition in the Cambodia National Museum. His Excellency Chan Tanny helped me and our other trustees to appreciate more fully why Cambodia considers the Bima to be a work of art that has a unique and special significance to its cultural history. We at the Norton Simon wish you great success in completing this remarkable installation to be experienced by people from all over the world. On a personal note, I want to express my special thanks to His Excellency Chan Tanny for his gracious professionalism and for the honest and cordial manner in which our many discussions were conducted. Over a period of months, I believe we developed a genuine mutual respect and trust that enabled us to produce this memorable agreement. Working with His Excellency has been a privilege for me. It is certainly one of the highlights of my professional career. Thank you again. The Norton Simon looks forward to a long and productive relationship and collaboration with the Kingdom of Cambodia in furtherance of our mutual objectives of art and cultural appreciation and education for all people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walter Timosov, for your remarks. Our next speaker is Excellency Jeff Dago, Deputy Chief of Missions of the U.S. Embassy to Cambodia. Please welcome.
His Excellency, Deputy Prime Minister Sokan, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to represent the United States at this historic event celebrating the homecoming of three matchless pieces of Cambodia's national heritage. The return of the Doradanya, the Bima, and the Balarama statues today embodies the strong relationships forged over the past 2 decades between the United States and Cambodia for protecting the kingdom's cultural patrimony. The story of these statues is well known to all in this room. They were callously hacked from their ancient home at Prasat Chen and trafficked on the international art market during the turbulence of the Khmer Rouge period, a time that saw untold numbers of historical treasures stolen from Cambodia's temples. This pillaging of Cambodia's historical legacy has rightly been called a brutal attack on the soul of the nation. Although some would have us believe that looting is a victimless crime, the truth is that looting robs all of humanity of an irreplaceable connection to our past. We have a popular saying in the United States, you can't tell where you're going unless you know where you have been, which speaks to the vital importance of drawing wisdom and inspiration from the past and creating a better future. Because the world's cultural heritage is vital to each of us, we all share a common responsibility for protecting it. So when the Doradanya was placed on the auction block and the royal government of Cambodia asked the U.S. for assistance in recovering the statue, my government launched a determined effort that involved not just our embassy here in Phnom Penh, but also the Department of State, the investigative prowess of the Department of Homeland Security, and the superb legal direction of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. Indispensable to this work were the contributions of international partners like UNESCO and the École Française d'Extrême-Orient and our Cambodian colleagues at the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts and the Council of Ministers. Although it took more than 2 years, this unprecedented cooperation led to the voluntary return of the Doradanya by Sotheby's, as well as the voluntary return of the Balarama by Christie's and the Bima by the Norton Simon Museum, as well as the twin Pandavas by the Metropolitan Museum of Art last year. The repatriation of these statues both demonstrates the strengthening commitment of American collectors and institutions to adhere to the highest ethical and legal standards in acquiring objects, and reaffirms the U.S. pledge that our country will not serve as a safe haven for illegally acquired art and antiquities. U.S. dedication to working with Cambodia to safeguard the kingdom's unique historical and cultural legacy is long-standing. In 2003, our two nations entered into an agreement that restricts the importation into the United States of certain Khmer antiquities, which has been renewed and expanded over the years. In partnership with the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts and the Ministry of Interior, the United States has trained Cambodian police in preventing and investigating crimes in cultural heritage sites, assisted judges and prosecutors in developing a comprehensive strategy for prosecuting cultural property crimes, and provided over $2 million for cultural preservation projects throughout Cambodia. And according to the National Museum of Cambodia, 97 Cambodian artifacts have been repatriated from the United States to Cambodia over the past 2 decades. These efforts both highlight that the United States stands with Cambodia in its efforts to safeguard its cultural legacy, and it illustrates the deepening bonds of cooperation, friendship, and mutual respect between the people and governments of our two nations. Cambodia's rich cultural heritage is a testament to the long and proud history of the Khmer people and is a source of pride and identity for all Cambodians. While we celebrate a happy ending for the statues that we see here before us today, we must not forget that the commercial trade in illicitly acquired art still thrives. It is incumbent upon each of us to be part of the solution in combating this shameful crime. For those who collect, curate, and study ancient artifacts, this means scrupulously studying the provenance of objects and being vigilant to the red flags of looting. For governments, it means actively guarding heritage sites and pursuing and prosecuting those profiting from the theft of cultural property. And for the average citizen, it means holding accountable those with responsibility for protecting our global patrimony and joining our voices in demanding an end to the pillage. Together we can and we must protect and preserve humanity's birthright for future generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency Chef Tego, for your meaningful remarks. Next, it is my great pleasure and honor to invite His Excellency Dr. Sokan, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister in charge of the Office of the Council of Ministers, to deliver the remark. Thank you.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am much honored to represent Samdech Eke Maha Sanapare Cho Hun Sen, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia, at this ceremony today to welcome these three heroes back to our homeland where they belong. The story started more than 1,000 years ago when King Jayavarman IV decided to depict the famous battle of the Hindu epic Mahabharata in Prasad Chan, one of his temples, in a long 40-year journey, surviving civil war, looting, smuggling, and traveling the world. These three have now regained their freedom and returned home. The larger than life-size stone images of the dwelling warrior Duryodhana and Bhima, together with Balarama, one of the observers of this battle scene, have returned home as a result of the successful effort of the royal government of Cambodia under the wide leadership of the Prime Minister Samdech Eke Maha Sanapare Cho Hun Sen, working in partnership with the government of the United States of America, together with UNESCO, the École Française d'Extrême-Orient, FPO, and other experts. The Duryodhana statue was last month transferred in New York to the Royal Government of Cambodia, which I had the honor to represent at the ceremony, following a successful legal struggle conducted by the U.S. Attorney General Office of the Southern District of New York, with the active support of the Cambodian legal team led by His Excellency Mr. Chan Tani. The Bhima, which had been purchased by the Northern Simon Museum of Pasadena, California in 1976, is being returned following lengthy but cordial direct negotiation between the Royal Government of Cambodia and the museum, while the Balarama is returning as part of an agreement between the Royal Government of Cambodia and Christie's. We are delighted that we are joined here today by Mr. Jeff Daigle, Deputy Chief of Mission of the Office of the United States of America, Mr. Walter Timosuk, President of the Norton Simon Museum, and by Mr. Martin Wilson, Global Co-Head of Legal and Risk. Mrs. Sandra Cobden, General Counsel, and Mrs. Dabja Jane Patel, Head of Cell, India and Southeast Asia Art, representing Christie's International. Two more statues from the Prasad Chand Ensemble, Sahadeva and Nakula, two of the Pandava brothers, were returned to Cambodia from the Metropolitan Museum in New York in June 2013 during the 37th session of the World Heritage Committee. The three newly returned statues will join them and will be displayed to the public in the National Museum of Cambodia, reunited with their pedestal. The facts are now established. Their odyssey ends here. These precious symbols of our heritage have returned to their rightful owner. This remarkable day marks a milestone in our policy concerning the protection of cultural heritage that the Royal Government of Cambodia has been implementing tirelessly within the framework of the 1970 UNESCO Convention of the means of prohibiting and preventing the illicit import, export, and transfer of ownership of cultural property. Just 2 years ago, we placed the pedestal of Duryodhana and Bhima outside the entrance of the Apsara National Authority in Siem Reap, together with photographs of the looted statue, expressing our determination to succeed in recovering them. Today, after a demanding and challenging effort, the statue and pedestal stand together before us, ready to be reunited by the restoration team of the National Museum of Cambodia. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the people and the Royal Government of Cambodia, I would like to express my deepest appreciation to all the parties concerned for their respective contribution to such a great achievement. I would like to start by making special mention to the work of Mr. Simon Borak, who in 2007 was the first to find a link between the pedestal still in place at the Prasad Chand Temple in the remote site of Koh Kai in the northern part of Cambodia and their missing statue. I would also like to congratulate the Gold Franchise Exam Orion FPO, particularly Dr. Eric Bogdano and Dr. Bertrand Porte, for their work on Prasad Chand that was able to help demonstrate Cambodia's right to the statue of Duryodhana. We do not forget that UNESCO's commitment and expertise were a real asset only in this case, but for the preservation of Cambodian culture more broadly. My heartfelt thanks go to the government of the United States of America, especially the U.S. Embassy in Phnom Penh, for their support in the fight against illicit trafficking and their strong willingness to promote friendship and cooperation between our two countries. Also, our warm congratulations go to all those who, from the Homeland Security Investigation Team throughout the investigation process, and from the U.S. Attorney General Office of the Southern District of New York, in litigation before the District Court, have assured the strict enforcement of legislation on illicit trafficking in cultural property. Their professionalism was extremely, and they deserve our admiration and praise. I think I would like to say a few words on this. You see, I went to New York. I attended the handover ceremony organized by the U.S. Attorney, you see, in the Southern District of New York. And after that, I attended the roundtable organized, you see, by, I think, our friend in New York, assisted by all the concerned parties in relation to the antiquity. I noted through this, my short present, my short journey in New York, and during this meeting and discussion and exchange of view, you see, I can see, you see, the very firm principle, commitment of the government of the United States, of the U.S. Attorney, you see, to protect the antiquity in the respective country in the world. You see, we did discuss in the roundtable about the protection from within every country and the protection from without, that means in the international arena. What we have achieved, you see, with these three statutes, and two already in Cambodia, coming back last year, so that, you see, this is not only lip service. This is a real action. This is a real action. You see, we can get all these issues back home due to the very warm cooperation, you see, and very firm position from the government and from the U.S. Attorney in the United States. So I like to take the opportunity, you see, to express the admiration and praise, you see, for this very noble spirit, you see, and very firm commitment and very positive position. Of course, the return of these 5 statutes from abroad could not have been achieved without the tireless effort and hard work of our Cambodian team. In particular, I wish to thank His Excellency Mr. Chantani from the Office of the Council of Ministers, His Excellency Mr. Haptuj from the Ministry of Culture, and FIAP, as well as the Apsara National Authority and the team of conservators from the National Museum. These 5 heroes will be joined, 5 heroes, because we have 3 heroes here, and the 2 heroes coming last year to Cambodia. The 5 heroes will be joined by number 6, from the ensemble that remain in Cambodia. We will pursue the campaign to complete the ensemble by recovering the 3 statues that are still missing. We can see in the ensemble there are 9 statues. The 2 prince warriors in the duel fighting, and 7 observers, or we can say referee, something like referee, you see, to say who is the winner, who is the loser. Yes, and now in past year we returned 2, we got 2, and now we have 3, so we have 5 already. And with the 1 remaining in Cambodia, so we have already 6. So among the 9, we have 6. We can see in, I think, the screen, an ensemble of 9 statues. So we are still missing 3. We will organize a very good, I think, room in the National Museum. I think something like their native home in Kokae, you see, with the similar room, you see, to organize, to reunite them, the 9 in the same ensemble and we hope that I think we hope that through the very firm principle from the United States government, from the U.S. Attorney, and the very warm cooperation we used to enjoy, we will get all the 9 assemblies to be in their team. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to the international and local media for their contribution in raising awareness on the seriousness of the issue of artifact looting in our modern world. I am sure that not only Cambodia, but the whole world will rejoice to witness the coming to an end of the dispersal of such an ensemble of statues and their return home. I think I'd like to say a few words on this very solemn opportunity. You see, we have seen the blessing done by what we call Apsara dancing, or we call the blessing dance, performed by Apsara, the celestial lady. We have the statue, you see, that means the battle between Duryodhana, in Cambodia we call Turyod, you see, and Bhima, in Cambodia we call him Pem, yes. And on, again, the wall, we have the painting. You see, there is what we call the churning of the oxen mill. Why I say about these 3 important things? Because there is a connection, a linkage between all these 3. What is the linkage? You see, in the painting, we can see the churning of the oxen mill. In Hinduism, there are 2 very famous epic legends. That one is Mahabharata, and another one is Ramayana. In Cambodia, we know very well Ramayana, or we say in Cambodia, Riamke. And not only in Cambodia, in India, in most of the countries in South Asia, you see Ramayana has been very well known. And parallelly, you see, we have Mahabharata. So, in Mahabharata, you see, there is the first scenario, the first story in this epic of the Hindu legend. We call it churning of oxen. According to the philosophy of Muslim or Hinduism, you see, in the world, there are only 2 groups of what we call Deva. We see the giant, or we call Asura, and Tevada, or we call the I think maybe something like good and bad, diamond and good. So, according to this very top legend, religious legend, you see, the first story of Mahabharata started with the churning of the oxen. That means, you see, the 2 groups, the Asura and the Tevada, cease to attack each other and come together, you see, with a mountain in the middle and with the dragon as a kind of link, you see, to turn the mountain in the ocean. And from this turning of the ocean mill, everything happened. We can see the turtle. The turtle supposed to be the incarnation of one God, Vishnu, to facilitate the churning of the ocean mill. And from this churning ocean mill, you see, we can see all kinds of animals come out. And in particular, you see, the Apsara come out. Before there is no Apsara, before the churning of ocean mill. But through the churning, the result of ocean mill, Apsara came out. And these Apsara were very beautiful, the celestial lady, and they were brought to heaven. You see, to strengthen, I think, happiness and joy in the heaven. And still in the civilization, in the culture, you see, and fine art in Cambodia, we can still, I think, witness all these stories. We did just have seen the dance of Apsara. You see, the original Apsara came out from the Channing Ocean Mill. We can see the lady in the cloud, in the sky. This we call Apsara, the celestial, beautiful lady. You see, and now in our culture, we still have Apsara. And tomorrow, I think you can see the distinguished delegation from Christie, from Northern Simon, will visit Angkor, will visit Kok Kai. You will see in Angkor, in the wall sculpture, thousands of Apsara. They came from the same source. They came from the same source, from the Channing Ocean Mill. You see, so this is one episode of the story. Another episode, you see, is the war between Turyot, in English, Duryodhana, and Pam, in English, Bhima. The war between the two princes. This is another episode of Mahabharata. You see, that's why I said Apsara, Channing Ocean Mill, and the dual battle, the dual fighting between the two princes, same from the same region. Some from the same Mahabharata. That's why I like to say a few words on that. You see the story of the battle. The two princes came from the two different families. You see, Bhima is from the family they call Pandava. They have 5 brothers. Pandava, the 4 other brothers are sitting and observe. Bhima fighting. This is a dual fighting. Again, another prince named Turyot, in English, Duryodhana. Duryodhana and Pam, they are 2 cousins, but they have to fight. One had to die. One will be winner, one will be loser. The winner will continue to keep its kingdom and will take over the kingdom of the loser. So the loser will have nothing, you see. And in this battle, according to the Mahabharata, Duryodhana was beaten and after that died. Bhima is the winner. And they can keep the 2 kingdoms. Yeah, this is the story. This story, you see, and they invited 7 other, you see, what we call Devya, you see, to observe. And one main observer is Krishna, is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. You see, so this shows very well that Cambodia in the past, 1,000 years ago, we practiced Hinduism. So Hinduism came to Cambodia, and Buddhism came to Cambodia. You see, we have a kind of mixed religion now. In our current religion, we call Buddhist, but you can see we still can see some practice from Hinduism. And this purely, you see, this story purely came from Hinduism. So that's why I think by this comment, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, you understand why we cherish. You see this statue because they represent the spiritual, cultural of the people and the kingdom of Cambodia. You see. So in closing, the royal government of Cambodia appeal to other museums and art collectors around the world to follow the example of returning plunder treasure to their rightful owner as a part of the worldwide campaign for the protection of cultural heritage. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sharing our joy and taking part in this celebration, and wish you all good health, success, and happiness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency Deputy Prime Minister, for your meaningful remarks. Royal Order of Grand Officers Medal of Director General of Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts, the Royal Order of Grand Officers Medal by Mr. Martin Wilson.